Hi, everybody, it's Grace. Welcome to Eating Peace this week. About 8 or 9 years ago, when I was just beginning the process of getting divorced, midlife there, I had a really good friend, as I had very scattered thinking that was kind of nervous, and I would think about different possibilities for what I could do and just be brainstorming. That's such a perfect word, brainstorm. I know that sometimes that's used in a very positive context, like all these people getting together for a meeting and we're just going to throw everything out, throw everything up on a board, consider anything that comes to us. But it's got this word storm, and I was brainstorming about job possibilities and where I could live and what I would do and where I would go, all kinds of stuff. It was almost overwhelming and crazy. And this really dear friend of mine texted me, "What would kindness do? What would kindness do?" What I wanted to talk to you about today was not thinking so much that you have to do something about your own thoughts. I mean, it's really interesting how I am now and how I once was when it comes to food and eating or emotional eating and escaping is it doesn't even occur to me. It's lost all food and eating, and a kind of a compulsive movement towards food and eating has lost all the inner emotional feelings that it once had 25 years ago. That's all just come right off of it, just fallen away off of it, over practicing in time. And what I would say, no matter what kind of modality I've been studying or what sort of retreat or teacher, because there's been so many different things, there's fascinating and wonderful things, brilliant things that make a difference in people's lives. No matter what it is that I've encountered or signed myself up for over time, even deep therapy and long-term practice in something, everyone's deepest intention has been kindness, self-love, loving yourself. And as you do that, it becomes much less interesting to be mean to yourself or to actually act out harsh, violent realities. Now, it does not mean that those thoughts are completely gone. But there's a tricky thing that happens around thinking these days because so many people have discovered amazing connections between what it is you're thinking and what it is you do, your actions, right? I must be thinking something and believing something in all my heart if I move towards craving, unbelievable craving for food when I'm not actually even hungry. Something's really going on there in my thoughts. And otherwise, the opposite. You know, I'm really believing deeply at a certain level in my own humanity, beauty, love, and acceptance, sort of keeping things simple and being patient with myself to not move in that direction, or to see maybe there's another way, or to just let things be here as they are. But there seems to be a really big difference or gap in the middle, and as people have been discovering that, and there's more and more written, what do you do if, what some people do is they've got this idea, I need to fix my thoughts. Oh yeah, I need to get rid of those thoughts, or I need to work on these thoughts. I'm going to put a meditation practice into place, and I'm going to do that every single day. I'm going to wake up in the morning and meditate, and it becomes sort of like part of the to-do list, just like dieting. Well, now I need to have a spiritual practice. And then when you don't do it, you might say, oh, look at you. There you go again. Even on that, you can't keep it together, which is a harsh voice. So to get it as simple as you can imagine it to ever be, rather than thinking I need to get rid of these voices, because I have them too. I have them too, and today it's like yesterday I was thinking, I can't believe it's taken me an entire year to finish the book that I said I was going to finish last year. You know, what's wrong with you? Why don't you start pursuing that? Why don't you get that done? Why don't you complete it? And it's got a harsh edge to it instead of just this acceptance. But I love so to keep it very, very simple rather than, you know, writing a whole book about all the things you should be doing that you aren't, and that includes your spiritual practice and working on your thoughts, right? Is to just think of kindness. Kind. What would kindness do? And if you feel like your heart is breaking and you're very sad and you're lonely or you're bored or you're anxious about a group and there's food going on there and you feel kind of a pull towards food, what would kindness do? You know, I find sometimes, I love if I'm surrounded by a feast with friends, I love to taste everything, and sometimes there isn't room to taste everything in my stomach, so that's fine too. But any kind of harshness about what I should not be eating to me is just that, harsh. For you, it may be that if you have a strong allergy or you're diabetic or something's going on in your body that you want to be kind with, your eating patterns may become different. There may be more structure somehow to it, and maybe that's even what will feel safe to you in the moment. If that is kind, follow it. There's no right or wrong here. But what would kindness do today? Instead of thinking what you need to implement in your life and how you need to fix yourself, remember everyone's got the voice. Everyone has it. They've got a voice that comes in and it thinks that harshness or violence or criticism is going to create change. And just say, all right, I know that's what you think, their voice. I know that's what you think. What would kindness do? And if you need to curl up in a ball on your bed and cry, then do that. It is a lot easier to feel that than it is to eat. I can guarantee that. All right? Let me know what you think. Just remember, just let yourself put your hand on your heart, just like this. What would kindness do?